So, getting the hang of this short bow. My biggest limiting factor so far has been these here thumb rings. I got an adjustable leather one from Three Rivers Archery. I like this one a lot, but it doesn't give you as much protection. So I feel like this is a really lightweight. It's like 25-pound pull. I am going past my normal anchor point, which is over 28 inches. So maybe it's more like 27 or 28. I don't know. Maybe close to 30. I'm pulling to my cheekbone for my anchor, but I got this pewter one and the leather, and I like the leather better. It's more. It just kind of doesn't come out of place as much. This pewter one, I feel like even though it's snug enough, I can't really go any smaller than this. But if it's not really lined up right and the string lands in the wrong place, it either completely defeats the purpose where it's pinching on some of those nerves, and or you have a bad release, or you have to like fix it if it slides around. Again, I don't get as much with this, but my thumb's already tired. I kind of been shooting a lot of arrows, so I think just getting used to wearing it and just having a better feel for it, like where it's just more hardwired into my brain versus being something that's kind of registering as odd to me. But in any case, I also got a bow glove so that the fletchings aren't tearing me up anymore. And I really went, even though in my earlier video of a short bow review, trying to go the traditional way with this Turkish bow with the arrow on the right hand of the riser instead of the left, and shooting with a thumb draw, both of those are just like complete opposite of what's in my wheelhouse. So I kind of stunk at it pretty bad at first, but I didn't have a thumb ring or a bow glove, so I was fighting against the pain in my thumb and the pain of my skin getting peeled off by feathers. But also just not really knowing where my sight window is going to be if it's on the right side. And one thing that I picked up from a video, I'll try and link it if I find it, but dude talking about how you're supposed to see if you're pulling from your thumb. It's like blocking, you know, when it's on the left side, I can see it good over here, but if I'm pulling and it's on the right side, then like, how do I get a beat on what I'm looking at? And he's basically saying, well, if you're at full proper draw, then you'll actually get back in the window again. Versus if you're kind of closed off and not getting your scapulas sort of tightened up, you might have here, can't see it, and then if you really get it full, all of a sudden now you can see. And especially when I'm anchoring from the cheekbone instead of my usual kind of mustache, corner of the lip thing anchor, which is pretty customary, getting a little bit more pull, and it's pulling it almost into a 3-under style where I'm actually getting to see down the arrow, which I've never done before. I've always been doing instinctual, and it definitely gives you a huge advantage. I mean, I'm fine. Like, this is my third time of like sort of a dedicated little session with the shortbow and trying to do it in the atypical way that I'm used to, and I'm already getting. It's still like my knock rate is kind of whack as far as like I like to be able to go through my arrows pretty rapidly, and just with the thumb ring it's awkward right now, but I think ultimately once I get used to it I'll be shooting this even probably substantially faster, so faster, more accurate, unfortunately, and more consistent. The groups are better than I've been shooting longbows for like over 20 years. And, I mean, granted, I started out with a lot of bad sort of self-learned habits that I had to start from scratch on, but, you know, it's not like it's bad. It's just like being able to sight down the arrow is a game changer. And I'm not gap shooting right now. I'm not like working on different yards right now. I'm just shooting super short to get my fundamentals down. But once I got a lock on that, it's like, oh, wait, yeah, truly can aim because you're looking at the arrow versus just my split finger on the left side. It was just straight up instinctual, and I wasn't looking at the arrow at all. I was just looking at what I was trying to hit. So I don't know. I'm definitely gonna go down a rabbit hole with this because honestly, it's more in line with my style of shooting, anyways, in terms of speed and having such a small bow like this versus longbow. You're always hitting stuff if you're going through the woods. If you're trying to do any kind of like fluid motion, it's just harder, especially if you're in the woods. So there's just a lot more I could do with this, and I gotta find me some horses or some owners of horses that would be comfortable with it. But I really gotta try these things on horseback because I know how to ride horses, and this is like what these things do is shoot from a horse. So stay tuned on that. I'm gonna make that happen. That should be fun. Anyways, so yeah, I kind of wanted to just this is for self-reference, like what I did, so I don't forget. Yeah, I like the leather more than the pewter, but the pewter, like if my thumb's tired, I kind of need it. If I can get it secured properly to give that full protection on the tender bits of that thumb. Also, I'm sure I'll get some calluses here once I do this some more, but shooting from the right side, thumb draw. You know, I have it feels deep to me, but I mean, I don't know. I sort of can do an angle at times, but it seems like mainly just being nice and level with your draw doing this and not being like cockeyed or up or down or anything like that or twisted. It just wants to be like a nice little shelf. And trying to just let go cleanly and not super dramatically. And the biggest thing that I figured out that really zoned in, where I'm like hitting bullseyes like kind of regularly, um, was on top of what that person was saying about the anchor getting full openness in your posture and your shoulders and wingspan and everything, really open up to your maximum so that you can see down the arrow. But beyond that, I was noticing just shooting down the arrow, all of my shots were going way right, shooting off the right, which makes sense. But just because probably the distance between the center line of my face and my eyes, I've, for one, never done this before either, because I know having both eyes open is depth perception critical, but I think it's just a different vibe where, like, yeah, you kind of established how far away it is as you're making your draw, and then by then you close, and then not only does that put you down the arrow, but you won't reveal the thing you're trying to hit until you rotate your this shoulder and wrist just a little bit. It moves the bow out of just enough where now you're actually shooting straight down. I've noticed when I release from there that instead of having to, like, say, because it's going right, I'll just aim more to the left of what I'm shooting at. I mean, that works in a pinch, but I don't like associating what I'm not trying to hit with what I'm shooting at to hit what I want to hit. I don't like it. It's not simple enough. So what I find, like I was saying, full anchor, close your left eye, and then you can see down the thing, but you won't see the actual bullseye until you open up the door a little bit. And then once you can see it, that's what you're going to hit when you release, or at least that's what I found doing this. So probably benefited, like, you know, a lot of the just alignment with my shoulders and elbows and wrists and everything that it's not like my previous background was for waist. I think it's given me a leg up, but it's really astonishing that it's the third time going from the first time, I have no idea what the hell I'm doing, shooting into the dirt, and now just having a couple principles where this could be revolutionizing everything that I do archery-wise for a while anyways. I'm pretty freaking stoked. So, anyways, hope y'all are good out there. Get outside, enjoy the weather.